Hello, it's the 3rd of July, and I thought I would show off a new instrument that I just got. This is a Micsig MHO14-200. That's a 200 megahertz, 1 gigasample oscilloscope from Micsig. Claims to be a 12-bit. And yeah, had quite a time getting this here. I might be one of the few people in the USA with one right now. I found out about this when it was announced in late 2024. Kept an eye on it and eventually saw that my, or at least the USA distributor Micsig had some of these in stock. Placed an order a few months ago, and unfortunately they weren't actually in stock. In fact, Micsig hadn't released these yet, and no one had ever gotten one in their hands before. So Micsig contacted me, great company I've worked with before, and said, do you want to keep going with the order? And of course I did. So this is pretty reasonably priced in the $800 range, and kind of kept checking in with Micsig to see, when the scope would be shipped, and even reached out to the manufacturer to see what they were trying to do. So, best guess was April, May, June, and right when they were about ready to ship with these things, the huge tariffs on shipments from China hit, and I contacted Micsig to say, hey, if we're going to do 120, 150, 170, who even knew at the time, tariff on this, I'm going to have to cancel my order, but they're not shipping it, so we'll wait and see. So when they actually got these released, the tariffs were on a temporary pause down to 30%. So I told Micsig, yeah, let's just go ahead and do that, and I want to get this in before anything else happens. So just the other day, this actually showed up on my doorstep. So let's take it for a spin. So first of all, kind of give the intro. It's a 200 megahertz scope, 4-channel. They do have them in a couple of their configurations. But the great thing about this is that Micsig has made a number of tablet scopes in the past, but they don't have these physical dials. To me, that's really important. I do want physical buttons and dials when using an oscilloscope. There's just something about it that works better when you're trying to hunt down a signal. And you can get used to the tablet scopes, and tablets can add a lot of great features, but I want that in addition to a set of buttons and dials. So let's look at the physical aspects of it. It's pretty thin, great for portable applications. It's got a handle on the top. It's got a fan, which currently seems to always run when the scope's running, but it's not loud. We've got Ethernet, USB-A, USB-C, HDMI, a 12-volt input, and square wave calibration signal. So one thing kind of scared me was this little button here that is a power lock. So it wouldn't turn on. You have to actually depress this before it will turn on. So that kind of got me when I first unboxed it. We also have these stands. So you pop these open, catch them in, and the oscilloscope will stand by itself. So let's turn it on. That is not representative of how fast it normally turns on. It can actually go into a suspend mode. And as many of these, I don't want to say lower end, but more commodity grade, and they're aiming to make this portable. A lot of these scopes have, they're running on some variant of Android. So if you actually hit the home key, you can see there's a bit of a desktop concept here, and there's things like a calculator. You can swipe down, screen recording. There's system settings and all that. But obviously we're interested in this scope for now. So everything's pretty responsive. Let's go ahead and get a signal in there to make things more interesting. And then, yep, we've got all the typical functions you'd expect from scope. Let's scale that down. I've got this in a weird color mode. Let's go ahead and change that if I can recall. So let's do menu. Oh yeah, let's turn off this one. And then menu out. And we'll have our yellow traces back. So we've got a 1 gigahertz square wave here. Of course, 4 channels. And we have our horizontal. We've got our vertical. And of course, our horizontal and vertical position dials. Now, this is where some of the aspects of a touchscreen can really come in handy. You can see here that we can actually very quickly pan the screen back and forth. It'll go ahead and fill that in and resample. You can see up here, there's the entire sample window, and we can see where we are at in that. And of course, you can reposition these pretty easily. So if I scale down a little bit, get a signal, we can move it up and down like that. We can kind of rearrange these however we want them to. And you can, by clicking these buttons, all these buttons seem to have a press to click function. So I can get that recentered on 0. I can do the same for all the other signals too. Just go select them and get them repositioned on 0. And then just drag it around. So very smooth. This is a capacitive touchscreen, so there's no pressure needed to get these things moving around. Has a lot of other features. I'm not going to do like a complete rundown of the scope here, but it's got, I really haven't found anything that I thought was missing. There's features that are maybe a little bit more difficult to get to than you would expect, but honestly, not really any worse than the other scope, especially some of the more esoteric triggering modes and all that. So we can do a lot of stuff. We can do CAN triggering. We can do, there's signal math. There's a bunch of different protocols that can decode. So if you click on this, or click on one of these signal decoders and swipe, you can actually select a number of protocols up here. So we've got CAN, LIN, SPI, I2C, all the greats. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So one other feature that we have, and of course it does come with 4 scope probes. So you're kitted out from day one. And it also comes with some multimeter probes. So that's the other cool thing about the scope, is that it's got a set of multimeter inputs. So if we go into the common and ohm, let's see if we get this potentiometer do anything. I don't have clip probes for this just yet, but we can go into the DMM, and it has kind of a basic multimeter interface. It's not super fast, but let's go to ohms and see what we got here. So 88 kilo ohms. I guess this is a 100K pot, so that makes sense. It was close to the end of its range. So yeah, the multimeter interface is functional. I would say like nothing to write home about, but maybe they'll put out some updates to make it flashier and more responsive. Like the oscilloscope, it's just an app on this hardware. One really cool thing you can do too is when you switch back to the scope, you have a little window that shows what your multimeter measurement is. And so you can drag that around. You can, while you're running oscilloscope functions, you can actually see what is happening with the DMM input. So it really becomes kind of an all-in-one device you can carry around with you and have all the functions of a scope and multimeter. It doesn't do signal generation, so it's not a complete one-stop shop, but it gets you quite a ways there. And again, this is not a comprehensive review, just kind of a first look. So notes, coming with all 4 probes is nice. Came with your adjuster tool to calibrate the probes. One thing it didn't come with that I think it really should have is any form of a carrying case. I don't think it would have added too much cost to have kind of a nice padded case, maybe even with kind of a molded hard shell to protect the front of it, and then it would truly be a portable solution. So that's it. First look on the Micsig. I kind of enjoy the fact that we have this shiny logo up here. Oh, and then the Micsig logo on the interface right exactly below it. That seems a little unnecessary, but yeah, still pretty cool. And I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun using this and get a lot of utility out of it. If you have any questions, if you want me to demonstrate anything, yeah, leave a comment and I'll try to take a video of that for you. All right, thanks. Bye.